During the beginning stages of the Industrial Revolution, the vast majority of mechanical progress was confined to Britain, as for a time, the country actually banned the export of machines. From the 1700s to the early 1800s, Britain discovered the Minecraft Create mod, and was quickly becoming an absolute powerhouse of industry, producing massive amounts of iron, textiles, and agriculture. All of it further fueled and enabled by state-of-the-art machines, advanced tools, and steam power. This industrial and economic capability proved to be pretty useful in the early 1800s when Britain's economy began to struggle under the embargoes and sanctions from France during the Napoleonic Wars. However, as technology continued to grow and enable seemingly exponential economic growth, not everyone was too happy about it. In 1811, during these harsh economic times, some workers were becoming disgruntled with the growth of factory machines, believing that it was a fraudulent replacement of skilled workers and that the progress of industry was driving down wages. This group of people came to be known as Luddites, and often would travel the countryside smashing and destroying factory machinery in protest. Their name would eventually come to be used as a title for someone that was resistant to accepting modern technology. The original Luddites died out pretty quickly, though. Sometimes literally, as Britain made it law that purposeful destruction of machinery would be punished by death. Now, I'm no historian, so please forgive any inaccuracies here. I learned about this piece of history probably around the 6th grade, and I remember being confused by it. The Industrial Revolution was the cornerstone of what technology would go on to become in the society I grew up in. It all seemed to work out pretty well. How could people be so short-sighted as to oppose technological progress? I wondered what it felt like to witness the birth of something that could fundamentally change society, and be scared by it. You're probably sick of hearing about AI. I know I am, especially during a time when companies are using AI as a catch-all buzzword to promote every iteration and innovation of their products. AI is being discussed everywhere, all of the time by regular people too. Right now, it's because Facebook is seeing a swarm of AI accounts and imagery being posted. Some of it being pretty hilarious, admittedly. A few weeks ago, the buzz was around new AI scams using voice emulation to extort money from victims. A few months ago, the discussion was centered on the new Sora AI model's capability to generate strikingly realistic videos. And just a few years ago, almost no one was talking about AI at all. AI has advanced so quickly and so exponentially, it's difficult to keep track of. It's a cliche to say at this point, but I'm going to say it anyway because I think it's important. We are at the beginning stages of this technological development. Everything that AI is at this point in time will only grow and become more capable. Yes, it's easy to point out the mistakes and uncanny images of AI, but 5 years down the line? 10 years? These things will almost certainly be rectified. This technology doesn't just have the capability of changing how our world operates, it's already massively affecting industries all over the globe. AI models are being used to analyze and heighten efficiency in agriculture, commerce, education, and healthcare, among others. Everything could be on the brink of evolving. Society might very well fundamentally change in the coming years by this technology. And I'm scared by it. In 1811, the Luddites resented the rise of factory machinery partially because it devalued the skills of their own labor and made it cheaper. As an artist, I feel a similar way about AI image generation. Many people have already rightfully discussed the issue of theft when it comes to generative AI. Most of the public models we have today are built from scraped art and imagery hosted online on the internet. Hundreds of artists have found that their works were unknowingly used as a foundation for an AI model, and are rightfully angry about it. Some of these artists have even filed lawsuits, but as of yet, there hasn't been anything promising. Regardless, companies already seem to be shifting to licensing or owning the content they train their AI models on. But how much does that really mean when the licensed content they're referencing includes your own post history on Reddit? Even if AI companies own their training data, how much of it will have actually been willfully given? But that's not the only issue with AI images that I want to talk about. You may have noticed that I haven't used the phrase AI art, and that's on purpose. To some people, AI images can be and are art, and as society moves forward with AI as a part of it, I think it's very likely that people will come to consider AI images as capable of being art as a majority. I can't really argue with that because I think what art is a very personal thing, but as someone who creates art, I've got some conflicting feelings. On one hand, I think intention means everything when an artist makes something. Why did they make the decisions they did? What did they mean by this line in the poem? What does this scene tell us about the artist? Every piece of art has meaning and depth to it, whether intentional or not. But on the other hand, I understand that to many people, what they consider art is simply a thing that they think is pretty. And even the people who enjoy pondering the creator's intentions of a piece don't stop to philosophize about every work of art they come upon. I also know that a similar mindset existed about digital art in a time when that was still a fairly new thing. People resented the idea of using digital tools to make things as they thought it was less authentic than art that was created using physical means. One could argue that the process of crafting and refining AI images is a similar step of removal of effort from the artist, but that the artist's intentions are still present within the confines of an AI model's generation. Some might say that even though it's not the same kind of effort and skill as traditional art, it's still valid as a different medium. But AI isn't able to make fresh and new ideas, right? Everything it creates is a direct derivative or mixtape of what came before, of what was already made by a human. But then again, are humans even capable of wholly original works? Or is everything we make just a direct extension of what came before us? Logically, I go back and forth. Emotionally, I often find that I feel disgust towards so-called AI art. I've used some AI models before, mainly Midjourney, and it's fun to take a few minutes and conjure up immaculately detailed images through simple text prompts. But then I log on to Reddit or Pinterest and I start seeing AI images seeping into my pages. I see people trying to pass off AI content as their own authored works, or using it to cheaply and effortlessly conjure up a catchy YouTube thumbnail. It feels emotionless, dare I say soulless. And with the recent resurgence of discussion about dead internet theory, I know I'm not the only one who's noticed. There's been some discourse recently about the idea of art versus content, and I think that framing fits perfectly within my perspective on AI works. When I talk to the artists around me, I see their love for creating. I see that they make art for the joy of the process, or as a way to etch their emotions onto something physical. But AI images feel like they're thoughtlessly created to fill a need, whether that be for fame or for self-promotion, or as a quick way to evoke something that you just like to look at. They're created to be content to fill a gap. I'm even guilty of using AI images for something like this. My original profile picture on YouTube was AI generated. It was clean, it caught the eye, and it felt lazy and thoughtless. During the Industrial Revolution, many Luddites feared the lessening of workers' rights due to the rise of corporate industry, and they were right to fear. The conditions within factories were downright criminal. Health issues were common due to the poor and cramped working environments, but perhaps more importantly, the growing structure of corporate employment led to workers being taken advantage of, underpaid and overworked, even though productivity increased. This is another massive parallel concern that I have with the future of AI. Even at its beginning stages, even now, when many can see the shortfalls of current AI models, this technology has already begun to partially or completely replace some jobs. It's not commonplace yet, but as AI models advance, more and more jobs will be displaced as technology increases production capability, while lessening the human effort required. For blue-collar workers, this issue may not be imminent, but in 10, 20, 30 years, how many human programming jobs will be cut from the economy? How many financial analysts or media managers or data entry positions will be lost? I understand that, in a sense, AI is a Pandora's box. It's been opened, and society must adapt or drown with the changes that it's going to bring. But I worry that those in positions of power have often demonstrated that they will prioritize the well-being of corporations and the elite over the common man. I worry that AI will become another powerful tool to extract wealth from the many to hand over to the rich. I worry that as more and more of the working class becomes displaced with the changes of industry, they'll be left behind, with little to no help from those who can give it. And I worry that AI will be used as a way to control the flow of truth and knowledge, and used as a means of control or disinformation. This is one of the more modern concerns that I have with AI: paranoia. On more than one occasion, I've seen artists being wrongfully questioned and accused of using AI for their art. On other occasions, I've seen people get caught for actually using AI to create their art. I've personally gotten multiple comments on my videos declaring that my voice is clearly an AI and that there's no one behind the microphone. The very presence of AI content devalues actual effort, art, and truth, as people grow more and more dubious about what they can trust as real. And I can't really blame them. In these beginning stages of AI development, small errors and uncanniness on the edge of the content it produces has allowed people to see its footprint all over the internet. Whether that be in images used for visual example in a video, or entire news articles that use the same format as AI text generation, or an audio clip that seems to be a little bit too robotic. The trained eye and ear can catch glimpses of AI content hiding everywhere already. People have produced guides and videos on how to tell if something is AI generated, and academic institutions have begun to analyze papers to ensure that a human wrote them. But even if you pride yourself on being able to clearly recognize the signs of non-human creation, others are already being fooled en masse. And I'd be willing to wager that even the most diligent and trained eye has been fooled more than once already. As this technology continues to advance, how long will it be until only experts will be able to deduce the origin of a work? How long will it be until literally every piece of information in art online is considered untrustworthy or unverifiable? Disinformation is going to become exponentially more of an issue than it already is today. Even if the people who currently publish AI content are doing so with non-insidious intentions, it's already eroding trust online. And make no mistake, there will be and are other actors whose goals are deceit. Earlier this year in Slovakia, during their election cycle, leaked recordings revealed that one of the candidates was bragging about rigging the vote. These clips went absolutely viral, and that candidate went on to lose their election. It's since been revealed that none of that was real or true. It was intentionally released by a bad actor. All of it created with the power of AI. Ahead of this year's presidential elections in my own country, the USA, faked recordings of Biden discouraging Democrats from voting surfaced in New Hampshire. AI-generated images of Trump surrounded by teenage girls on Epstein's plane have also been circulated. And last year, a deepfake, a form of AI training to replicate a face, went viral featuring a mayoral candidate for Chicago showing indifference towards police shootings. AI is arguably one of the most powerful tools for deceit that we've ever seen. Since the 2010s especially, the rise of disinformation has been absolutely staggering. And even though much of it can be pretty easily disproven with a little time and effort, we've seen that disinformation can circulate so quickly that fact-checking often struggles to keep up. Now, imagine how bad things will be when photo, video, or audio proof are rendered completely meaningless by state-of-the-art AI generative technology. In America, the trust in our news media is at an all-time low since 2016, which was the lowest point in trust in our nation's history. The line between truth and alternative fact has been blurred so much already. The way we exchange and convey information is fundamentally cracking, and we're poised to break whatever trust is left in the media. This sort of insidious distrust and paranoia won't be just relegated to official media and election cycles, though. It will be felt all the way down to the roots of the internet and media in general. I grow discouraged when I think about how the culture on just YouTube will change in the coming years. How many creators already use AI to supplement vast amounts of their videos? What will it be like when they can instead have the majority of work be completely done by an AI? In the film industry, we're already inundated with thoughtless, money-chasing flicks. How much worse will that become when humans can be removed from the equation? It feels like we're already surrounded by mountains of disposable content, having to dig deeper and deeper every year to try and find something worthwhile and creative. But now, when someone does present a creative work that they've sunk effort and time into making, will people even believe that it was done on their own merit? Will it even be perceived as real? There's one more issue that I want to discuss when it comes to AI, and that's privacy. In 2023, we witnessed a 148-day strike by the Writers Guild of America over several issues, one of which was the use of AI in filmmaking. Though the Guild focused on generative writing, another common fear of those in Hollywood is the use of AI to replace actors. The Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers allegedly proposed terms last year that would allow them to buy an actor's likeness and use it in perpetuity, even after their death. Now, this would require actors to agree to a contract, but as we've already seen, bad actors will certainly be using this technology without the consent of many.
So AI stole my likeness and created a deep fake ad of me promoting erectile dysfunction pills. Let's talk about it. The thing that feels the most violating about this is they pulled footage from by far the most vulnerable video I had ever posted on my channel, where I was sitting in my bedroom explaining very traumatic, difficult things that I had gone through in the years prior. So this ad was me in my bedroom in my old apartment in Austin wearing my clothes, talking about their pill. The only thing is it wasn't my voice.
This woman's story went viral earlier this year. Just a few months before, in January, a model named Nasia Matza wrote an article about discovering that her own likeness had been stolen through AI as well. Quote, "To make matters worse, I can't even prove it or do anything about it since the regulation around AI is still a gray area. After all, who really owns my face?" End quote. And I'd be willing to wager that these instances are just the tip of the iceberg. There are surely more cases of AI identity theft that haven't been noticed by the broader media, especially if you're a woman. According to a 2019 report by the analytics company DeepTrace, 96% of all deepfakes online are pornographic in nature. More and more women have been discovering that innocent videos and images that they've posted online have been twisted into non-consensual pornography. From vlogs to Instagram posts to TikToks, if you have pictures and videos of yourself posted online, technology is enabling people to easily corrupt that media. I've been sickened to find posts online where people are arguing that this isn't immoral since it's not actually the victim and that they probably won't ever find out about it. Can these people not understand that it leads to the same consequences? What if that AI pornography is discovered by a victim's employer or their family? People are stealing someone's likeness and publicly depicting them as performing acts that they never did. How violating is it to discover that you're featured in something that you've never consented to? I hope that most people can understand how dehumanizing this can be. But as AI technology becomes more and more widespread and easy to use, how much more common will it be? I'd be lying if I said that this wasn't one of the reasons why I don't plan on showing my face online. But is that really the solution? I don't have that much of a social media presence at all, but what about the people who do want to post their pictures for their friends or family? What about the people who already have years of their media uploaded online? Social media, love it or despise it, has become such a core part of our society. I don't blame people for not wanting to abstain from it. But is the theft of our faces and AI pornography just going to become risks that everyone has to accept? Because if so, that's fucking depressing. The Industrial Revolution did cause a lot of good. Access to better transportation and tools did increase the average quality of life for many people. With the rise of machinery came new careers and skills that were in demand, and the refinement of tools allowed for things like medicine and medical treatments to improve. As the AI revolution is upon us, we will likewise certainly see its benefits. Medical technology is definitely going to improve, and I'm sure that fields like engineering or mathematics will see new successes too. And in a vacuum, new resources that allow us to automate more and more of our work away should be a good thing. But with all of the unanswered questions and ethical dilemmas that come with this technology, I have to ask, is this the direction our society should go? Make no mistake, this is the direction it's going, and there's little to nothing everyday people can do about it. The cat's out of the bag. The box has been opened, and those who choose not to use AI will probably fall behind as others do use it. I realize that this video is sort of a plea to the void, a rant, or an expression of exhaustion. I don't like what direction the world seems to be going in, and I hope I'm being too pessimistic. Only time will tell. I'm sure I'll still fuck around with ChatGPT here and there, or laugh at an AI video of SpongeBob singing a diss track, or enjoy an AI judging Twitch viewers' chat history. But I just don't want to see the internet devolve into a sea of not knowing who or what is real. I love seeing the creativity of people all around the world. From poetry to videos to music to film to art to comics. I really hope that artists can stand out in that sea of ambiguity. I guess I hope that humans can stand out still too.